Welcome to the BBC.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Between Both Cheeks. We have a very special guest today, and I hope I get this right, the Balay Lama, also known as Candy Shaw, who is a hairdresser, an educator, a salon owner, and she's the creator of Sunlights Pro. So welcome, Candy.
I am so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Listen, we met at the Anaheim show. And not only was your booth so beautiful that I was drawn to, but your energy was just so infectious that I was like, I need to go talk to this lady. I mean, we don't do anything hair-wise, but I need to get to know this lady and I need to figure out where she's from, what she's done, because your entire team and yourself just have like a really good presence and a really great energy.
Well, thank you for saying that. And I felt the same about you. And I was so excited that you walked over and said hello. And I have to tell you that ever since we met in Anaheim, I have been talking behind your back like nobody's business. And what I mean by that is like everybody I run into, I'm like, you have got to meet this woman. She is a marketing genius. She's incredible. And I just think, you know, girl power. What can I say? I'm so excited
Right?
that you're glowing and growing the way you are.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, the feeling is mutual, so thank you. Candy, tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, how you got started, and about your business.
Well, first and foremost, I'm still at the chair. So I'm a hairdresser. I have a 50-chair salon in Atlanta, Georgia. My father was a 60-year hairdresser, world champion. So a lot of folks don't know that about me. They think, oh, you're just a manufacturer, but I'm still just a hairdresser, just like all the folks that are out there trying to make it day in and day out. I came up with the idea about 10 years ago to create a product called Sunlights, which was the first to market kaolin-based lightener. Have you ever heard that word? For painting hair on your head. Of course. And nonetheless, the rest is history. It was really kind of a niche of a place that this market needed. And I went after it. Everybody thought I was crazy because most people were putting hair in foil and thought, what are you doing? Why are you painting this stuff on hair? And I thought, no, this is the next, little black dress. It's not going away. It's incredible. And the rest is history. So Sunlights, of course, how I met you was at the shows. So not only am I in every classroom like you guys are teaching the fundamentals of great painting and French cutting, I'm just very passionate about sharing my knowledge with those who are out there that are needing a leg up.
I love that. And tell me where this name came from. Am I saying it right? The Balay Lama? That is brilliant marketing.
Well, thank you, but I can't take credit for it. I was actually named that by one of my students in the classroom. So one of the things I think I am known for is not only, great fundamentals of education, but also just business acumen, inspiration, motivation. So someone said, you're like the Dalai Lama of, painting hair. You're the Balay Lama. And well, what can I say? I was like, trademark that. So immediately I went from, being cute little Candy Shaw to like, whoa, hold on. And this is really about that time when Instagram was becoming a thing. I mean, there was no Instagram, 10 years ago. I mean, people think Instagram has been around forever. It has not. And I'm thinking, well, what could I call myself? What's my hashtag? I had no idea what I was doing. And, it just kind of stuck and we have run with it ever since. So if you ever come and visit me in Atlanta, you'll see that I have a stable of llamas and not real ones.
Oh my God.
But like literally everyone in the country has sent me a freaking llama. I'm so glad that the sloughs or the sloths or whatever are like popular now because the llama is not in every store. So people don't feel inclined to send me a stuffed llama.
That's great. That's a fantastic story. How cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's amazing. So I need to ask you, because you're behind the chair, you're an educator, you're a manufacturer. Talk to me about balance.
Well, it's weebles wobble, but we don't fall down, I guess is kind of my philosophy. And the reason why I don't fall down is because I surround myself with people smarter than me. I surround myself with people who tell me no, which is amazing. And I have learned the value of no. And so balance is very, very important. You know, I am a salon owner first. I am a mother. I'm a grandmother. I'm a wife of 35 years. I've got a lot of things on my plate, but what I have learned in my career is the value of saying no and really knowing that you can't be all things to all people. And by doing so, when I travel, I have some and steadfast rules. You know, you won't catch me at the bar at 11:30 at night trying to rock on. You know, my daddy always had a saying, if you're going to fly with the eagles in the morning, you can't hoot with the owls at night. So I know my position there. And with that being said, do I fall? Of course. In ways, do I have my moments? Of course. Do we all? We're human. We're women. But I think when I know that's happening is when I know when to step back and step off and take my foot off the gas. So that's just kind of been my way of doing it. I think another thing to kind of bring out there is I'm uber organized, which sometimes that can be a curse, if you know what I mean. But I have a learning disability and dyslexia, and how my brain learns and how I take things in is if I don't have my little duckies in a row, that's when the house of cards comes tumbling down. So I'm really cognizant of what I'm capable of and not of.
Yeah, that's so great. It's funny, we just did a podcast last week, and we talked about preparing yourself and alcohol and stuff like that. And not that we don't like our wine, but one of my hard and fast rules is my entire team is not allowed to drink during the trade show. That's just a hard, no drugs, no alcohol, do whatever you need to afterwards to go celebrate, do whatever. But that's a hard, fast rule.
That's why we get along.
Yeah, probably. And
because
then
my other, it's true.
Yeah. My other one for me for a hard, fast rule is I don't do anything the night before travel.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't make plans. I won't go out like that. I just need my time to get organized. And yeah, so important.
It's very important. And, I'm on an 8-weekend concert tour, as I call it right now, and at the chair and doing all the other things. And, I have to have those rules and those guidelines, I guess, just because I just know I don't want to put my heart and soul into something that I'm not at my best. Who wants to go and just kind of be half-assed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I want to go and be my best, and I know what it takes to be my best. And, doing that is definitely something I have to be very mindful of around, and surrounding myself with people who are influencing me to be my best. And I think that's a real big kicker. We all struggle with FOMO, right? We all struggle with, oh, well, people won't like me if I'm not. No, they'll be just fine, sweetheart. You do you. You are enough. And I just kind of had to get over that early on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it shows and speaks volumes, at your booth, because you've been doing the trade shows long enough. And I feel maybe we have too, is that when you walk that floor, you can tell the people that don't want to be there or the people that have been out the night before.
Yeah,
indeed.
Right. Now, I met your son at the show as well. And is it a family business? And talk about his title, because you've got really cool names for your team.
Well, yes, of course, my father. My mother was my father's model when he was a hairstylist. She ended up being a makeup artist and being the chief financial officer of our business. And then it went from there. My uncle, my cousins, myself. I'm from Georgia. What can you say? I mean, we're a different breed down here. I mean, family goes to work together, So I work with my husband and my son and my daughter-in-law. She's my top stylist in my salon. And my son's title is the director of smiles. And we don't take ourselves too seriously around here. Everybody asks me, well, what's your title? I'm like, I don't know. chief bottle washer, unplug the
Yeah.
toilet lady. I mean, when you own a business, you are everything.
Yeah.
I don't, it's great. CEO, COO, whatever you want to call me. Really, I'm just the person that's taking all the risk. So
Right.
I'd like to say I'm the director of risk management.
That's so good. That's so fantastic. I love that. I'm hogging all of the questions. Ladies, if you want to jump in there, now's your chance before I get to my list.
Oh my God, she's got a list. So as you can see, Luba is uber organized as well.
Not at
You are.
all.
You don't think you are, but you are. It's
I'm really
organized
not.
chaos.
That's a good creative space is.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I mean, you can see my background here. I'm really not liking this Riverside platform because I can't hide it with the screen, but
Yeah.
Yeah, normally
We'll
the
have to
Little
talk to
Mermaid.
them.
yeah, I usually have like a Little Mermaid or something going on. But one of the things that I loved in a recent reel that you did in a training was you said you can charge anything you want if you make somebody feel good about it.
Yeah, it's so true.
I would love for you to kind of talk about that, because with our customers too, sometimes we run into this like, oh my God, it's too expensive. I've just invested in this, but I'm scared to sell them something.
Well, I mean, obviously at the chair 40 years, I've been doing hair. And this is one of the things that I feel like I'm blue in the face with teaching. Now, I want to preface that by a couple of things. Number one, you have to be of good value in what you're delivering. I mean, you can't just demand a price and be a piece of crap, I mean, you have to be really, I always say, do you charge what you're worth, or are you worth what you charge? So I think stylists are afraid of their own shadows sometimes. And, we put so much emphasis on education and knowledge and all the things that we go through, and we invest so much in our careers. And yet we get out there and we Groupon, coupon, dumb it down, discount it, give it away, even when it's not theirs to give away, right? And so, but yet I get on social media and everybody's griping because the two trends going on right now is, one is self-care, right? That's you. Hey, right? Self-care, big one. And the second one is value and how much to charge, because no one wants, and with self-care comes, I want to work less. I don't want to be there as much. I want to do more with the less time and whatever. But at the same time, we're chicken. We say we want to do all those things, but when we're faced with the decision making, we don't think we're good enough. And that is just part of being a stylist, something that I preach to constantly. You cannot make decisions of someone's spending power on your own. Just because she comes in sweatpants and flip-flops and just took a day off doesn't mean she's not carrying a burqa, or,
Yeah. Have you ever seen Pretty Woman?
Oh yeah, girl. Of course. So with that being said, I think, we make this decision. I mean, people walk into you knowing your value on the way in the door. I mean, you don't walk into a fabulous designer store and not know what you're walking into. And so I feel like, but with that being said, I must have a side disclaimer. We have also taken Casual Friday, Monday through Sunday. And I have a real issue with that, because you can't be in the beauty industry and show up in bedazzled sweatpants with your hair on top of your head, no makeup on, 10 minutes late to work with Starbucks in your hand, and call yourself a beauty professional. So I have two sides to that. I have that one side where if you elevate yourself at the chair and you're doing all the things and you're dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's, then absolutely, why are you scared? But at the same token, you can't come late and want to leave early, not look good, and not have great hair or great self-worth and demand a price. So I think I think we all have to stand back and take a good hard look in the mirror about what we're doing to our industry, because we dumb it down all day long, and I'm really kind of getting a little sick of it, to be
I have
honest.
something to ask on that, just because being in it for so long, I noticed these trends on both sides, right? So when I did hair years and years ago, like you wore black, white, or gray at some places. Now is, like you said, just totally free and Monday through whatever, Tuesday through Saturday, your sweatpants. That's more of like just the environment of like employees nowadays. Do you feel the standards that were, 15, 20 years ago have just changed because society as a whole?
Well, look, I would be lying if I said that I'm not going to sit here and talk about what my forefathers and my grandfathers
Yeah.
used to do. Okay. I am nimble. I am nimble. I am going to pivot. I am going to listen. I listen with the intent to learn. I love Gen X, Y, Z, millennials, love them, right? Because they're smart, they're aggressive, they have lots of incredible knowledge to add. So I'm not that wah, wah, wah. We used to do it this way. Now that's the way they do it. But I also know that if you want to make $300,000 a year at the chair, you better get yourself an attitude adjustment, because a good doctor, banker, lawyer, someone that is living, it's not crowded at the top, my friends. It's not crowded at the top. It's easy to be average. And so if you really want to elevate yourself to the next level, you got to go against what everyone else is doing, just like you're doing it Bright, right? You're going against what everyone else is thinking. And that is superior marketing. And so let's take it down to, are we marketing a brand? Yeah, it's called you. So if you really want to get there, you got to take that hard look. I mean, it's great to be an independent. I'm all about that. Okay, great. You want to be an entrepreneur, or as I call it, entrepreneur, so that you can walk around in all the shit. I mean, it's an entrepreneur's world out there, everyone. All right? It's a lot of crap. And so for me, I just say, if you're going to mill through that and just be, like everyone else and go down the path of least resistance, then you're going to find yourself living in the city called compromise. And I'm going to be able to guess your bank account very easily, because you'll never thrive and survive at that level if you think you can get away with dialing it in. So I'm not simply saying that jeans with holes in them are horrible, but let's get a nice cool coat on or blazer on with it, and let's put a fabulous pair of boots on there, and let's get a great pair of rims, or let's figure out a way to make yourself a brand and not be like everyone else standing in the room. So that to me is where I sit with it. And I do get kind of passionate about it, because I don't want my industry to go down the tubes and not be respected. Like, I want to be respected. I fought really hard to get women in the boardroom instead of the break room. I'm trying to get all of us out of there, working moms and all these, silent majority haven't been heard, but we can't be heard if we're not paying attention to what it takes to be on top. So that's kind of my philosophy. Sorry to get off on that.
No, I love it.
it.
I love it.
So good. So for those of you who are watching the podcast and you can see Candy, speaking of personal brand, holy
She's got
moly,
it.
she's wearing the most fabulous pair of glasses that are like neon highlighter yellow. And if you go to Sunlight's Pro's website, if you've ever seen them at a show, they are yellow to a T. So how did you, I want to know from a marketing perspective, was the brand, did it happen intentionally having that like it's so cohesive. If you like we met you at a show, you could tell who was working at your booth because they were wearing the color. Even if, you were in the washroom or the cafeteria, you'd look and you go, "Oh, they must be with Sunlights." So
Mhm.
talk about how you made that decision and how it came to be, and you still personally match the brand with your accessory today.
Well, it's so funny because I get this question all the time. And actually, when I travel now, which is really it's kind of hilarious. Like when I go to the airport, they're like, Lady Yellow, how are you? Because I won't get on an airplane without the brand because I want to be the brand
Mm,
24/7. I mean, I am
yeah.
right. I don't go anywhere without a little hip pocket somewhere, even if I'm at a cocktail party, whatever. It's living somewhere in my world, right? Whether it's on my
Mm-hmm.
nails, whether it's in my purse, on my rims, whether it's my shoes, my whatever, right? But how did it get born is a really simple story. When I was a little girl, I used to love to draw, and I would always draw a picture of a house. And the very first thing, I don't know why, I would go and first
Mm,
thing was a house, and I had the tree with the swing and the little stick figure in the swing, and I would put the little green grass at the bottom.
yeah.
But the first thing I would always draw on my
Was the
page was the
sun.
sun. And when I named my brand Sunlights, when you think about highlights, now I have Moonlights, which is our foiling brand, which is blue, like the moon.
Ooh.
And, so it was like sunlights. Okay, the sun. The sun is yellow. That's what I always drew. This brand is going to be yellow. So there was no marketing team. No offense, Becca. No offense, but there was no big dollars spent on this big brand awareness. What are we going to do? It was
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what? This is who we are. Yellow is the color of joy to me
Mm-hmm.
as a child, but also you cannot not see yellow and not feel happy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to think that now yellow is my new green, if you know what I mean, right? The new
Yeah.
green, because I scaled a color to become something that we owned, just like you guys are owning it with bright. That's your tone. You got to stay in that lane. And for me, it was about this color and it just morphed from there. So now not only do I have llamas, everything around me is yellow, except, interestingly enough, my home. And so
Hmm.
that was something that I always knew, because people will come to my home and they're like, "Where's all the yellow?" I'm like, "That's my brand. This is my home. This is my
I
family. This
love
is a
it.
different place." And coincidentally, my
Mm.
salon is French blue, which is more of the French cutting because we're French
Gorgeous.
cutting experts. So we actually separate those two, as well.
Hmm.
So
I
for
love that
whatever
you
it's worth.
use color theory to distinguish different places in your life. Like, I imagine that helps with the balance you were speaking of earlier. When
Mhm.
you go home, you're not constantly visually reminded of work, at least, right? If there's no yellow at home. I
Mhm.
love that. I've never heard of that before being intentional. That's really cool.
Oh, thank you. Well, it just happened to me. And interestingly enough, in my home, things are very, as a colorist, for me, I don't live in lots of color. I'm very sort of monochromatic, very classic, modern classic, if you will. I don't live in tons of color. I don't have a red room and a blue room because you would kind of think somebody that lives in color would be that way, but really I'm not. I'm decolorized. Isn't that what y'all do?
Pretty much.
Well, yeah. A little bit.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Candy, what is some words of advice to a solopreneur, entrepreneur, just business advice that you could give? And, what are some mistakes that you've seen out there with entrepreneurs?
Well, I live by the 7 words of success in our company, and those are show up on time, ready to work. So for me, you know, if you don't like what's coming into your life, you got to look what you're putting out. So if you're out there as a solopreneur and you're complaining, you need to step back. You need to take a seat in the chair when no one else is there, and you need to look around and see what your other people are witnessing about you. And you kind of have to have some of those hard, fast meetings with yourself as to what is your disruptor. What is disrupting you from growth? What is disrupting you? What is holding you back from your dream, or from the dollars, or from whatever it is that you're wishing for in your life? So number one, you got to find your disruptor, and you got to figure out how to fix that. And sometimes those meetings are kind of hard, because it's, I need to cut my hair off. It could be simple. It could be really simple. Like, you're not even living in the world of hairdressing. You don't even look at. Maybe it's, I got to go to the gym. Maybe I need to work harder on my dress. Maybe I need to redo my space. Maybe I need to upgrade some things around me. Maybe I need to get rid of some bad influences of my life that are, telling me the wrong things, and I've got to punch that positivity. I got to get out there and eliminate some noise, some noise that's happening that's causing you to have those issues. So I definitely think it's that real hard, fast meeting with yourself. That would be one, and really finding your disruptor. And then the other part of the question was, sorry, that's the dyslexic brain there.
That's I do the same thing. What mistakes have you seen that new entrepreneurs make?
Instant. They think everything is instant. And I said it took me 20 years to become an overnight sensation. I've put the work in. And, my Sunlights has been 10 years. Of course, I've been at the chair for 40, but I have worked my butt off for it. I have given it away. I have crawled on the floor and put my booth together. I have not taken paychecks. I have, the biggest mistake is that you think the world that's so instant is, we live in a drive-through society now. Everything we can just drive up, we can get it. I mean, heck, Amazon's getting ready to drop it at our door hours after we order it. And we think that that's what entrepreneurism is. It's instant. No, it's not. It is not. You can't call yourself iconic just because you have 500,000 followers. You're not. I'm so sorry.
Or a blue check mark, or a blue check mark.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. You just can't. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone. It's the truth. You have to put the work in, because respect is all you got in the end.
Yeah.
Money makes you more of what you already are.
Absolutely.
So work on what you are, and work on the human that you are, so that you're giving back. Like, to me, Sunlights Pro is my gift to this industry. Yeah, I make some great change at it, but that's not why I'm in it. I mean, I don't do it because, oh my God, I'm going to be this, whatever. I don't ever think about that. I really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, people ask me all the time, when are you going to sell it? I've been asked that question and been approached to sell this company time and time again. I'm having fun. And when you have fun, you make money. It's that simple. But you've got to realize that you got to be willing to make mistakes and pull up your bootstraps and get back up, put your big girl panties back on, and get back in the game, because I've literally built a foundation on all the bricks that have been thrown at me. I am standing on a foundation of hard knocks, of bricks, of people said, no, you can't, no, you won't, no, you this, no. I mean, I was turned down by everybody. As a matter of fact, if you did not tell me no, you were a nobody. Period.
Wow.
Okay? And that's the truth. So if you're looking at Luba or myself or some great manufacturers out there that you're thinking about going down that road, just know that lady right there and this lady right here has put the friggin' work in for it.
Yeah.
And, so the mistakes we've made are many, many. mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm-hmm.
but the biggest mistake that anyone can make is not getting back up,
Yeah.
just not getting back up when you fall. When you lose, don't lose the lesson.
No, that's fantastic. I loved how you talked about, the kind of overnight success and the instant gratification. I was asked to do a speech to the graduating class of aesthetics in Vegas about entrepreneurship. And I started it out with the first 3 years of opening up in Vegas. I slept like a baby every night. I cried myself to sleep
Mm-hmm.
for 3 years. Like, that's how hard, because people just see a brand and the success.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much more to it.
Well, sister, I'm still crying. Can you please tell me what you're doing?
Yeah, right.
I'm 10
yeah,
years
3 years
in.
was easy, right? Oh, trust me, I still cried too. Trust me.
No, I mean, really, I don't think you ever get there, and that's the other thing that I would say. There is no there, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're looking for. There's no finish line out there, folks. It's a freaking marathon, not a sprint. You'll never,
Yeah.
it's a constant, but I
Yeah.
love it and I choose it and you choose it. I love
Yeah.
it. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah. I love that. Candy, thank you so much for joining us. This has got to be one of my favorite episodes we've done. Your energy is just awesome. I'm so finally we got to do this. So happy we finally got to do this. Can you please tell our listeners where they can find you, your company, all of the things?
So I'm Candy Shaw on Facebook, the Balay Lama on Instagram, TikTok, and everything from then on out. I have a salon in Atlanta called Jamison Shaw Hairdressers, and I have an academy in Atlanta called Sunlights Pro, where I teach French cutting and balayage classes, as well as you can find me on the road, just like you, banging the pots and pans. So I would love to meet you in the classroom, and certainly here in my space as well, if you like some more intimate education.
Awesome. And we'll put all of her links in the description so you can find her. And you guys, you have to go look at their website and see the yellow, and go look at her Instagram, because you will see what we're talking about making yourself a brand.
Oh, well, thank you. And you guys too. And I wish you all the luck in the world. I am cheering you on. And that's what, great queens do, right? We just straighten that tiara back up on our friends. And I am so behind you. Like I said, I've been telling everyone about you. I've been talking behind your back because I think what you're doing is amazing.
Listen, I've always wanted to do a training seminar in Atlanta. So
you can use my
tuned.
Facility any time.
Done.
I mean, I'm on the road. This thing's getting cobwebs. It's sitting here. So
okay,
please.
Girl, we're going to talk then. This is going to be incredible.
I would love it. Nothing would make me happier, but I do want it to be on a weekend I'm here, because
Are you going to be the live model? As long as you promise to be the live model.
Yeah. Let me tell you, when I go in a trade show, and you guys are the disruptor now, and I am so proud of that. Really. I love it.
Thank you. Oh my God. Becca, can we cut that and use that in a reel and a post somewhere?
Oh my God. Candy, do we have your permission to take that out of the video and send it to the show organizers that tell us?
You're the disruptor.
Because you have no idea the trouble that some of these places give us.
I do, because I know that what I'm doing is a little bit more PG than what you're doing. But I'm going to tell you something. 10 years ago, we were the ones with the fire marshal going, "Hey, too many people in this room."
Yeah.
Too many people in this room, because
that's awesome.
balayage was like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like
the new thing. Yeah.
Exactly. It was the shiny new thing. And people thought, this balayage, what the hell are y'all doing? And we were getting kicked out. We were getting in trouble. I am so glad you're the one getting in trouble now. It gives me so much pleasure.
I love it. I love it. Well, I can only hope that we will be one day as successful as the brand that you have built from being that shit disturber too.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, out of your mouth to God's ears, right?
Yeah.
Love it.
Perfect.
Love it, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank
This
you,
was
Candy.
so
I just
fun.
wanted to say I love your sayings and your words of inspiration. They're so relatable and they're inspiring not only to hairstylists but everyone listening. So
Thank
thank you
you.
so much.
My pleasure.